Welcome back to the channel, guys. I want to thank everyone for joining, for the likes, the shares. I would like to ask you all to please like and share the videos. This is for humanity to bring awareness into things. And today what I wanted to talk about was when we're targeted by these secret societies. As you know, I am highly targeted by a group of Masons and Eastern Stars. And again, I understand polarity. So for everything good, there's something bad, right? So don't take it personal when I speak about these groups. In the matter that I do, I speak based on what I've gone through and what I'm currently going through, right? And it's also my role, is my job. This is what I do for the Most High. My role is to expose it. And unfortunately for me, the karmic family that I was placed in are part of this secret society, right? And they had a part in me being targeted because I was to be a sacrifice, right? And that's what I wanted to bring awareness into today. The reason being that, I'm called to do this, and then as I go through it, as I've gone through it, as I've healed from it and came to a point of approval of it, I have to speak on it. That's just how my contract is. So as much as I would love to not do it, but not really, I do want to do it because it's supposed to bring awareness to understand that these are things that are still actively happening, where we're still doing human sacrifices, and also that in order to do certain witchcraft, certain dark magic, in order to send certain entities towards people's way, they have to do sacrifices, right? And so there's a lot of children that are going missing. There's a lot of deaths that are not really natural deaths, but they are due to the hands of dark magic, right? Occult knowledge. People manipulating our free will without us realizing it. And this is why I speak on healing and protecting our energy, and our energy being our greatest currency, because what we're not using, somebody else is using for us, right? And so we're not aware because we're not awoken to how things really are, because these two eyes are the two thieves that betrayed God, Jesus, Yeshua, right? We have to look with our third eye, and in order to do that, we have to heal. We have to come to a place of healing, a place of ascension, and be able to activate our subconscious, right? So that's another story. But what I wanted to touch base was on the things that we go through when we're targeted by these individuals, because we are basically chosen by God, right? And when I speak about being chosen by God, I don't mean like we have everything easy. It's actually the opposite. We become target practice for these cults and secret societies and people who are involved in it. In my case, I was targeted by the secret society because I was sold to this cult by my karmic family, right? And so what they did was they hired a lover when I was operating in my lower realms, when I was still navigating Tinder and, going on dates and being lustful and consuming alcohol and drugs and all that good stuff, right? So they hired a lover who came in to portray to be a lover. So it looked like it was a coincidence that I met this person, but in reality, it was a setup. Usually, I didn't know this, but with spell work, they're able to manipulate events occurring. So, for example, you think you met somebody on social media or on these dating sites by accident, but in reality, it was planned, it was orchestrated to be this way, right? So that was my case with this lover. It was orchestrated for me to meet this person And the person that they used was somebody from a past life, right? Which is how I awakened. This person was used to awaken me because he was somebody from a past life. He was a past life soulmate, right? And so what they did was, the witchcraft that they were doing on me was kind of like wearing off, so they decided to bring someone in, right? And the goal of that was to have me poisoned, right? And he did get me poisoned. He did. Now, because of my bloodline, because of my ancestral protection, because of the Most High God, I was able to heal from that. And this is something that's very common for us chosen beings. The enemy usually does this when we're in the brink of awakening. They'll send in, the karmic fake twin soulmate type of scenario, and who's usually a warlock, right? And in order for this warlock to bind you, what they do is that they'll, poison you by putting like a Mickey in your cup. And usually what these things do is that you're not supposed to be able to heal from it. You're not supposed to be able to have your mind after that. But for me, I don't know what happened that night. Actually, it was 2 times. I was poisoned twice. But I don't remember what happened. I fell asleep and then I woke up, And I thought that it was because I fell asleep because I felt safe. Because this person being a past life soulmate, usually with your soulmates, the way you'll recognize them is that you'll be able to see it in their eyes. You'll feel like home. So this one made me feel safe. And I fell asleep. So I thought, but in reality I was poisoned. Right? And, this, how God does, let me use your enemies as your footstool. Me coming into contact with this person, gave me the courage to want to heal, because you'll feel it in your soul that this person is a soul. Like, this was a real soulmate. It wasn't a fake one. They used a real soulmate, like one that I had a divine contract with, who was living a karmic loop. That's why I speak on, we could be chosen and become karmic, and we could be karmic and become chosen. So this one was a chosen being who was living a karmic cycle. And they used this person because they also knew that we had divine contracts. Now, this person was fully asleep doing, serving Hashatan. Yeah. And so not only did, he poison me, but also this was like a form of a breaking point for me, such as of like, my mother, my father didn't love me, and my marriage didn't work. I was abused all this time. And then the divine counterpart that I do have, that God had set for me, is trying to unalive me, right? So that was a lot, right? That was a lot. But with that, what that did for me was that it proved to me that God was real. Because as I met this person, that triggered my awakening. And so I started to heal. I started to awaken. I started to seek God and want to lean more towards God. Well, I'm gonna go to part 2 to give you the understanding and the description of, the things that we go through when we're awakening, when we're being initiated by the universe, and how we're targeted, because we are here to serve God, because we're here to raise the vibration of earth, because we're here to anchor in the new earth and basically help others heal, and how we are targeted and the ways that we're targeted, right? So I'll be back with part 2.